The John Ford Podcast.
When in doubt, mumble. johnford.radio.
And thankfully, mumbling is something that I never, had a lot of difficulty with. It just sort of always came naturally.
That I disagree with.
So, yeah, here's something that made me mumble today. You ready for this? This is like the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. It's like the news flash coming across the wire. N-E-W-S. Dunkin' Donuts is officially dropping donuts from their name. They are going to henceforth be called just plain old Dunkin'. Yeah, that's what I thought. Have you ever? What's like the dumbest thing I've ever heard of? It's like the thing that happened a couple of months ago with IHOP, right? Where they changed their name from IHOP pancakes to IHOP burgers. And then they admitted like a month later, it was just a little marketing thing they did, let people know they had burgers. And then they went back to being, IHOP pancakes. But Dunkin', everybody's going to say Dunkin' Donuts, right? Nobody's just going to say, hey, I'm going to Dunkin'.
No.
I mean, is this about the dumbest marketing move you've ever heard of in your entire life? When you think of Dunkin' Donuts, what do you think of? When you think of Dunkin'? Well, I don't think of anything when I think of Dunkin'. Maybe the clown that you throw the ball at that falls in the water at the sideshow, at the carnival.
I don't get it.
But, I don't say, hey, let's go to Dunkin'. Yes, let's go to Dunkin' Donuts. So in the world of failure, changing the name from Dunkin' Donuts to Dunkin', see, even I'm confused, which is, actually a pretty easy thing to do.
All right.
Yeah, it's actually kind of tragic. Dunkin' Donuts is now going to be called Dunkin'. Can you see the cops? I'm heading down to Dunkin'.
Ain't no cops around. I don't see none. Now you've done it, Pigpen. Now you've done it.
And now for something completely different.
From the how much money do you want to give another tech company today department comes the news that Microsoft is releasing Office 2019 for the low price of just $249.
Wow.
I don't know why anybody would pay that much money for basically a spreadsheet, a Word text file so you can create Word documents. I mean, I realize some people have to have it, like if you're a law office or something and businesses where they've gotten themselves dug into this hole of where they have to use Microsoft Office because they're sending these files back and forth that are only Word files that only open properly in Word. But why anybody would want to pay $249, 249 simoleons.
I don't get it.
For Microsoft Office is just beyond me when you can download LibreOffice for absolutely nothing. Zilch, free. It's open source. You get it for nothing. It's free. You don't charge anything. LibreOffice.org. That's not even a commercial. It could be a commercial. It couldn't be a commercial because it's open source. They don't charge anything for it. But, they get my vote of confidence. Yeah, $249 for the new version of Office 2019. I'm not even going to go into what, possible features it could have. Because how many features do you need, really? Because most people are just writing stuff or doing simple spreadsheets. They don't need... Do you need all those little icons at the top?
No.
How many of those do you use? 4 or 5? And you've got 867 trillion of them up there. For everything you could possibly imagine. Figuring out your genetic code, your DNA. If you're going to have to go with Microsoft, you're probably better off with the Office 365. What is it? I think it's $99 a month. Or no, a year, I'm sorry. A month? Smack me in the face. It's $99 a year. This is not a commercial either. And with that, at least you get a terabyte of online file storage, right? Yeah, it ain't so bad. A hub for your teamwork. That's what Microsoft says. Microsoft Teams bring your groups and resources together in one place. Yes, they bring them together. They bring them to Microsoft. They used to be Evil Empire. We have a new Evil Empires now. And you get free tech support, too, with Office 365. Isn't that amazing? Free tech support. So you can, get them on the phone, call up the Office 365 experts and say, why do I have the blue screen of death?
We need an expert in computers.
Access denied.
From the Not News section today comes from the Daily Star, one of my favorite little British tabloids. That is the dailystar.co.uk. And if you went there, you could probably find this story. It is about the Mars rover taking a picture of a rock. I mean, it's obviously it's a rock, right? On Mars, and a lot of the UFO conspiracy guys are saying, oh man, look at that, it's got a face. It's an alien. look at that. There's something peering out from the inside of that hole in that rock. It's an alien rock. And if you look at it, it's a rock.
God, that is so not true.
It's like, remember the pyramids and then the face of the pyramids that people were seeing on Mars? Well, I'm sure that, they look that way. But, it's like we're projecting ourselves onto it. Not to say there aren't aliens on Mars. Not to say there aren't aliens on the moon. Not to say there aren't alien visitations here on planet Earth. Personally, one of my favorite things to do is watch those crazy UFO shows. I watch them on YouTube. It gets used to me looking at them, so it just keeps spitting more and more of them out. And I could go into some of the people that are behind. There's like this whole group of folks that do nothing but go to these lectures, of course, and attend them, but also that give lectures at these UFO cons. And I'm sure they probably make a pretty darn good living. It's got to be better than working, just getting up there and yakking on about UFOs for a half an hour, 45 minutes. Still, I will say this. There is more to this stuff than meets the eye. For every 1,000 of the UFO things that, oh, come on. It's
What the hell is that?
That's a balloon. That's marsh gas. There's some of them that, are kind of hard to discount, like the Rendlesham one in the UK. I think it was back in the 80s. Yeah, you have to Google it and check that one out. Rendlesham is one of them that can't be explained because it was like Air Force guys saw this stuff, saw this UFO in a field next to this Air Force base. Guys actually touched it. One of the guys that saw it was a colonel. So it's not like he's making this up, and I don't think he goes around giving lectures. He just happens, to talk about it. Another guy that's kind of interesting is a guy by the name of Nick Pope. He's a former guy in charge of, they had a guy in charge of USOs for the Ministry of Defense, for the MOD in the UK. And he's convinced that all this stuff is real. And there's some other guys that are kind of legitimate out there too. And there's other ones that are just complete whack jobs that talk about, they belong to the alien space force and they were, flying around the galaxy for, doing 8 trillion light years per second.
You're a loony.
And they show you their badges and stuff and their tattoos. But some of it, there's something going on, and the government does, cover it up. And, well, as we can see from politics today, man, they cover everything up.
I'm the happiest guy.
He's the luckiest guy.
'Cause I just bought a new Ford.
From a wonderful dealer.
Wow, what a dealer!
For a Ford or a fine used car.
Hello, Earthman. I am Tokar from outer space. It is my job to monitor Earth radio. Must advise your show worst of all. Space Council of Goodwill recommend you eliminate all talk and just play music. Atmosphere already overloaded with hot air, 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 hot air.
The John Ford Podcast.